Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body and keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring attention to this bell sound, and while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, let's take few minutes to understand how this meditation practice will help for us to develop our conventional life. And at the same time, how it's going to develop our spiritual path. So this conventional and spiritual both interconnected. Only practice point of view, we separately talk about it. But when it comes to our day-to-day life, always this both work together. But sometimes one of the major mistake we do, when we look our spiritual success, sometimes we neglect our conventional level of life. Or sometimes we try to resist that. But first, as a foundation, you have to maintain, understand, develop your conventional level of life. As example, when you become physically, mentally disciplined with your bodily, verbally, mentally action, as a result of your discipline, that your liberation happens. But sometimes people think after the liberation that you can have the disciplined mind. No. The first, the disciplined mind, first the virtue. From there, step by step, you have to develop, maintain this physical material life, and then as a result of that, you can attain to the liberation. Another thing is that conventional understanding is very necessary from the beginning. So as a result of understanding, gradually the liberation can happen, enlightenment can happen. It will take you there. It is not after enlightenment you're going to understand things. It's not like that. So another thing is truthfulness. So being truthful to yourself, being honest to yourself, being clear to yourself is a conventional action. When you become truthful to yourself, as a result of that, you can go into liberation. Not after you attain to the liberation, you can be truthful. No, it's not like that. So always remember that. If the foundation is, this is our body and mind, this material world. So then, before we go, of course, when it comes to the enlightenment, there are a few things. One is enlightenment, the nature of the enlightenment. It gives the light to you, give the clarity to you, and at the same time, it gives the light to others. Another thing is it's make you more lighter, not heavy, because this heaviness, physical, mental heaviness, always in our life, it takes us to suffering. But when the enlightenment give us the lightness, comfort, it's kind of like give the satisfaction as who you are. So then both this in enlightenment, but at the same time, you have to remember, it's the very first thing, the foundation is this moment of our life. So most of time we try to fix the with the compassion. Of course, it is very necessary. We have the compassion with the loving kindness, and we put the effort to fix this outside world problems. Try to help others. Try to fix the problems. Of course, you know, from the history to today, people are feeding to innocent people, and we are helping to other people. And of course, people are generous, try to share things. But still, it conventionally it is okay, but when it comes to spiritual practice, we have to look into ourselves and see, before we go into fix these outside worldly problems, at least are we capable to fix our own day-to-day situations within us? Are we capable to get out of our own difficulties, or get out of our own suffering, or get out of our own problems? Or are we repeating it again and again and again? So that is where the enlightenment help us. So that is where this practice help us. First, to get out of this inner struggle, inner suffering. So that is very necessary if you look for the outside, if you try to help outside people. Because with this inner suffering, you can't go and help others. You can do for a certain level, but it's not going to make any sense. So that's why this practice gives you a deeper foundation for yourself to maintain your life, keep it solid and balanced within yourself with the clarity. So there are few rules that you have to follow for this. The very first law of one, that is the main law when it comes to principles. The first law of one. Always remember, doesn't matter how the things happen or what are the outside colors or the shape. Your intention is the major. Don't try to make the outside world colorful, carrying the inside darkness. It's not going to work. So the intention should be clear. With the loving kindness, compassion, generosity, and at the same time, always remember, when it comes to Buddhism, this loving kindness, compassion, generosity, all need to go with the wisdom. Otherwise, you may get tired. You may get mad, angry, disappointed, unhappy. You may get hurt. out of doing good things. So if you have the wisdom next to all your good actions, so that is where you can go through this any situation, all these up and downs without getting hurt. Because we see most of time people are generous, but at the same time, out of that generous actions, by the time they get tired and they become unhappy, sad, angry. But if you have the wisdom next to it, it may not going to happen like that. So when it comes to the principles, the very first law of one is intention. Always have the introspection, go into it and look into it. So when you practice meditation, what happens? Not only practice meditation, when you even reading, when you even listening, when you even kind of like doing that, kind of like having the open mind. So when you practice anything, so what happened, especially when you go with this meditation, so in the beginning, listen this very carefully. So in the beginning, we observe the primary mental object. So we try to see the nature and the condition and the behavior or the character of the inhalation, exhalation. Long inhalation, short inhalation, heavy, soft, warm, beginning, middle, end. So kind of like that, we see all these details. When the mind start to become very clear with it, what happens? It start to twist, jump, and naturally start to see the mind. This is something, this is why you have to practice. Even when you keep reading a book, it can happen sometimes. When you keep reading, now your attention towards the book, what the book says. So when you keep reading, sometimes what happens, you start to reflect, you start to see your mind through that book. And sometimes when you're listening to somebody, when you clearly tune to that right frequency, what happened when you keep listening? So now your attention towards the outside person, that what other person keep telling to you. Maybe when you keep listening, suddenly what happened to your mind? It start to twist and it start to come towards the inward introspection. You start to see in, and then you recognize, oh, it is about me. My mind is like that. My life is like that. See, you start to see the outside, but by the time when you become matured with listening, when you become matured with reading, when you become matured with practice, it start to show the very nature of your own mind. Sometimes we try to teach people to observe the mind by the time. It can help for somebody, and this also can help for some other people. There are some people have the ability. We can't tell it's 100%, it can work for everybody. But most of time, remember, when this spiritual path, especially when it comes to meditation, you start to keep observing the inhalation, exhalation, or whatever the primary mental object. Once the mind exactly tuned to that, what happens? It start to show the nature of the mind. It's mirror the mind, mirror the inner nature, reflect you through that whatever you're listening, whatever you're reading, and that will help you to understand the deeper intention. So once you see the intention, so whatever the intention that you carry, once you see it, You have to have the energy, you have to have the effort, so you have to have the strength within the moment to transform, change, divert that intention sometimes, or make it more higher. Because sometimes that we have this inner laziness. So with that inner laziness, maybe the natural things not going to happen. You have to have the effort. You have to put the strength on it. Otherwise, just imagine if there is no strength, the Prince Siddhartha, the still maybe keep meditating under the Bodhi tree. But what he did, he push himself, he put himself to the edge of the practice. So this is what we need. Remember that. This is what we don't do ourselves when we come to practice. We don't put ourselves to the edge. We keep a distance. We keep a gap. Oh, later. So this inner laziness, once you see the intention, law of one, see the intention, all the karma governed by the intention. So once you see the intention, learn to change it. That's the law of one. So the law of two, there are principles. Remember that what the way you think not going to work sometimes. There are things that itself work. So it is better you understand that. That is what understanding Dharma means. So the law of two, always you have to remember, when it comes to our practice, body and mind. When we do things, not only the body, not only the mind, body and mind, interconnected. Harness it. Don't neglect one part. Don't put more attention to one part. No, body and mind. What happened most of the time? People are nowadays, they put too much attention to the body, they neglect the mind. And there are some people go to the spiritual path, they neglect completely the body and put the attention to the mind. The both way, it's not going to work. So always remember to balance the body and mind. And when it comes to practice, 50-50, you have to use this both together. So that way, your practice going to become more strong. And it's going to become more profitable and it's going to bring more result. And when it comes to the third principle, the law of three, always remember, do your best with what you have, where you are. Don't try to compromise. Don't try to resist. Don't try to depend on any situation, or don't try to point out to something else, and don't try to reasoning the laziness. Do your best from inside. So then you have to bring that the first law of one and the law of two. So the law of one means you bring the intention. You keep the highest of your intention. And then you put it to the body and mind both. And then you do your best according to your ability. And with whatever you have. And it doesn't matter where you are. You don't tell, oh, I can't do this because of that, this, I will do it. No. So with the clear intention and with the highest of the intention, with your body and mind, you do your best according to your ability, with what you have, wherever you are. Always remember, try to continue that method little bit, then you will see. Continue every day, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Put it to action, put it to action. You need the energy for that. You need the strength for that. You need the effort for that. Every day, consistency, keep continue, continue, continue. Little by little, maximize, increase the duration. Then you will see how deeper inside you, you're going to become stronger. So with that, by the time you will see how the result comes. So after result, don't try to do things. No, what you do as a result of that, then the final things will come. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. Your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So bring attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say Supatveva O. May I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we are spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. And then by the time, observe the change. Do nothing extra. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And be aware about the inhalation and exhalation. And recognize the change. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward, visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance, or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Also, by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata ca ammihi sampadang punya sampadang sabbe devanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhutanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe sattanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammam pujemi sangham pujemi. Attaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadhi maranam ha paribunjisami. Idam me punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.